Hey everyone, Happy New Year. It's been a few weeks, but it's been a productive few weeks. I've taken a couple of weeks, or I've taken a week or so off since the last model I finished, but I think it turned out quite well. I finished up my i400 sub. You can see here. I'll include some photos with the video here. But like I said, I finished it about a week or 10 days ago. And I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. This is my first naval subject, and overall I'm really, really happy with it. It's hard to say whether I would do another naval subject in the future, but nevertheless I enjoyed doing this one. It was interesting. It was very, very different, but it was still a lot of fun. It was a big learning curve, though, particularly for the photo etch, which I knew was going to be the case. Yeah, the railings, the photo etch railings were very, very challenging, particularly on the top of the hangar tube, the upper deck. There's just so many little bends you've got to put into them that it was really, really challenging. But I think I did okay. And it was still a lot of fun. But it was, like I said, it's hard to say whether I would want to do another naval subject anytime soon, because while it was fun, the challenge was a little, I don't know, a little more than I'm really comfortable with. I mean, I would like to learn how to be better with photo etch, but I would need someone to teach me. But overall, like I said, it was a fun model to build. You know, I like to try a little bit of everything, but for the time being, I don't know. It's not something I think I'm going to move on to on a permanent basis. Also, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen the pictures I posted on there and on eScale models of the gift I made for my dad for Christmas. I built him a model car. It's a 1931, I believe, Ford Woody station wagon, done up as a hot rod. It's something I've wanted to do for my dad for a long time, was build him a model for his birthday or for Christmas. I did one for him for Father's Day a few years ago, and he loved it. So I've wanted to do one ever since, but I've never been able to find something that I thought was suitable. And when I saw this Woody station wagon, I just really liked it, so I built it for him. And he really enjoyed it. So that made me very happy that I could make a model for him that he really appreciated. Other than that, though, since I finished my i400, I have taken a couple of weeks off. Basically just to recharge my batteries, decide what I wanted to do next. And I settled on something I bought at a hobby shop. Not my usual hobby shop. This one is in another town about 2 hours away from here. I happened to be passing through. I wanted to check out this new hobby shop, but I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. But it's in the Woodgrove Mall in a town called Nanaimo. It's a small shop, but it's a decent spot. And they had a few armor kits, and I've wanted to try out some armor, so I picked up Tamiya's 48 scale Sherman. This is from their more recent line of, like I said, 48 scale kits. They've been doing these for about 5 or 6 years. Let's see, is there a copyright date on here? This one is from 2005, so at least 6.5 or so years. I haven't had a good look at it yet. I've done 2 tanks ever in my modeling career. Both of them were about 10 years ago, and I didn't really do much to them other than just basic building. So this should be fun. Being 48 scale, it'll fit in scale with most of my other stuff, so it won't look out of place, and it won't take up a lot of space on the shelf. So let's crack her open and take a look. Box top is fairly standard for Tamiya. A very lovely painting of a Sherman in action. I'm guessing this is probably somewhere in supposed to be somewhere in Italy. But a very nice image. Looks almost sepia toned, but very, very well done. The sides of the box, as usual, have some elevation drawings of the model, as well as some photos of the completed model, as well as the showing off the die-cast chassis, which we'll see in a couple of minutes. Instructions, standard for Tamiya. Looks like a 4-page fold-out, black and white copy of the box art at the top with some historical information about the Sherman in English, German, French, and Japanese, as well as a list of recommended tools. Construction starts with the front end of the chassis and basic assembly of the running gear, then moving on to the rear of the chassis and the engine, then assembly of the road wheels and primary running gear and attachment to the hull, and then the attachment of the tracks, which appear to be link and length, I believe is the term. Then add-on details on the hull, as well as the turret and cannon. Then finally completed assembly and marking and painting guide. Can be done, looks like, in 3 different schemes. One from the 5th Army in Italy in October of 1944, one from the 1st Armored Division in Italy in summer of 1944, and one from the 7th Armored Division in France in summer of 1944. What exactly the difference is between the 3, I'm not quite sure. I haven't taken that close of a look. Option 2 has more elaborate camouflage, while the other 2 looks like just differences in the decals. Molding, it's in this olive colored plastic. It's quite small, actually. I'm very surprised. I mean, in 48 scale, obviously, it's not going to be huge, but looks like the entire hull is only going to be about 6 or 8 inches long. Well cast, very fairly standard of Tamiya, nicely detailed. We got small machine gun here, I think. I'm guessing these might be headlight covers. A lot of stuff I don't recognize. Armor is definitely not my specialty, so a lot of the stuff I just will not be able to recognize. We've got the turret here. I believe this would be what they call the mantlet. The upper machine gun. It looks like there's 2 different options for the mantlet cover. The front hull skid plate, maybe? I don't know what you'd call it. Other odds and ends. Again, stuff I don't recognize. But as usual, all nicely molded. The hull feels like it has, or the turret, and presumably the hull as well, feels like it has a very, very slight texture to it, which I believe is true to life. That the cast hull had a bit of a texture to it. Here we've got the running gear. So we've got the suspension, road wheels, primary track lengths, as well as the shorter sections and the individual sections. More wheels, drive sprockets. Looks like 3 different types, because this runner is doubled, so it looks like there's 3 different options for road wheels, so that might be the differences between the 3 different build options, aside from the coloration and decals. Yeah, same as otherwise. Just it looks really nice. I understand that there's options for individual track lengths, functioning tracks, but I'm just going to do this one out of the box. Some additional bits and pieces. We've got a machine gun, shovel, an axe. This looks like a pickaxe head and probably the shaft handle. Some other stowage, other bits and pieces. We've got some screws, some poly caps, the decals, which, let me just crack these open. So yeah, we've just got the different markings for different unit numbers, etc., etc. And finally, the die-cast hull, which appears to be firmly secured. So yeah, not much to it. It's fairly heavy, so it'll give the model some good weight. It's stamped 2004, so I guess they actually started doing their 48 scale series back that early. Oops. Looks like everything screws together, the bottom hull to the upper hull, hence why there's the screws, and is covered over by a... Overall, fairly simple, but it looks like it should be a nice model. So, as I said, this is going to be my first armor model in a long time. But I think I made a good choice. It doesn't look like it's going to be overly complicated. It's a scale match for much of the other stuff I've done over the past couple of years. So I can use similar weathering techniques, and I think it'll be a good starting point. So who knows? Maybe I'll really like it and I'll start doing a lot of armor. Most of the guys in my my modeling club, that's their bread and butter. Not a lot of guys do aviation or naval. The number one thing that everybody does in my club is armor. So it'd be nice to at least try it out and see what I think, so I can offer my thoughts on someone else's project at the next meeting. See what so I can actually have an informed opinion. But anyway, so I'm going to get started on this probably on the weekend. It's Friday now, fairly late Friday, and I have to work tomorrow. But yeah, I might be able to get started on it on Sunday. So we'll see what happens. So thanks everyone out there for watching, and happy modeling.